expectation was versus reality.
Yeah. Welcome to episode 2, take 2.
Yeah, but really it's like episode 4.
Yeah,
We're gonna get this down,
we will.
but we're already in a different location. We got someone was really nice enough to lend us some lights.
Yes.
That was
Andrea Suderman.
Yeah, Andrea Suderman. Thank you very much for lending us the lights, moving us a step above the low budget show that we were before.
Just two guys from Guelph chatting about real estate and life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Two guys from Guelph, episode 2. Thank you very much for the support and love that we got from the first episode. I think that people seem to really enjoy what we were doing and just the off-the-cuff style.
Yeah. Because I think it's the point of this really too is obviously we love what we do, but to be able to kind of give back. So if you have any questions or maybe any topics, I know that you probably hear this a lot when you're looking, searching online rather, but if there's anything that you might want to have us discuss or chat, we'll definitely take note of that and see what we can do. So
yeah,
I think today's topic was a good one. Joe brought up a good point. So prior to Joe getting his license, him and Amanda were clients of mine. And I think the question really to Joe was, what was your perception of getting your license to actually having your license and kind of work? I guess I'll let you talk, but I've had tons of coffee today, but take it over, Joe.
Yeah, so what reality versus expectation of being a real estate agent or a sales representative? Well, and I wanted to take a couple steps back, go back further in the timeline, because I think I was the same as many other people, as you mentioned in the other podcast, where you'd always dabbled with the idea, but it's scary. It's a scary concept to be like, oh, I'm solely reliant on straight commission. Yeah, it's a scary thing. I'm beneficial in the sense that my wife is a teacher, so it's really helpful to have someone else who's able to help support if times get rough. And
starting out of the gate too, right? Just it's lean. I know the course says 6 to 9 months, but really I think it's a year and a half of a wage.
Yeah.
So
and so it's a scary jump for a lot of people to think like a lot of people have that idea of, I would love to do real estate. There's a lot of people that love the idea of, it's easy. It's so easy. But there's a lot of people that, and I've talked to other realtors before, and they said, I had a knack at decorating and staging, and I think I would do great, but it's the fear, this is my opinion, but it's the fear of the inconsistency of pay that scares people away. So I had always thought of doing it. My mom and my grandmother had bought a rental property when I was young, and so I was always really intrigued with real estate. Yeah, I looked into it maybe in my mid to late 20s, but it just didn't feel right at the time. I just wasn't ready to make that jump. And then after Amanda and I, so we had finished doing Dunhill. Yeah, we had converted Dunhill into an accessory apartment. Yeah. We sold that and took some of the profits from that and purchased a rental property out west at Big White Ski Resort. And then when I bought, sorry, no, that's not true. So we bought that one, and I remember saying to Amanda at that time, I really want to, I want to be able to invest in real estate. I want to invest in real estate, and I want to do options trading on the stock market. That's what my dream job is. That's what I want to do. So I'm going to get into real estate. So I reached out to you and said, do you want to go for coffee? And you can pick my brain. And one of the things, or I can pick your brain. But one of the things that you've said to me a couple of times, and I think it's fitting, is like, one of the things you did was that I think was really good is like, you're supportive. But you're not going to sugarcoat anything. No. And one thing that I know you say oftentimes is, you would know this. How many active agents are in the city?
I think we're always hovering around 550.
So 550. It's competitive. There are a lot of people, and so there are people that dip their toe in and do
Yeah.
it part-time, but it's hard,
Yes.
especially when you take into account all of the fees that are
Yeah.
involved and,
Yeah.
and all of the costs of being able to do the job well.
Right.
You, my opinion again, I'm not
Yeah.
I'm trying not
Yeah.
I'm not trying to hurt anybody's
Yeah.
feelings or anything, but you have to just go for it. You just have
Yeah.
to go in and do it.
Yeah.
But so I appreciated when you said that. It's like absolutely it's great, but it's you have to work hard.
It is a out of the 550, how many are active? Meaning, listen, I think you hit it on the head. To get into the business, you have to have a little bit of money set aside.
Tons of people are waving at us.
But hopefully you can hear. I can't read.
I
My
can
eyes
see
are bad.
I think I see Barbara.
Yeah. So I would say, to have a year and a half wage set aside, but really comes down to you need a spouse or a partner that is going to be okay with you working evenings and weekends. And once again, I joked in the first episode, like every day's a Tuesday, but I think, having Amanda on board
Yep.
to kind of, it is a partnership for sure.
Yep.
And you need that. If you don't have that year and a half wage set aside, then you need a spouse or partner that can carry that kind of weight for a little bit. But that's, I've had a couple clients in the past, like yourself, another one too, that have gotten their license from the experience, but just, it's a full-time job. So what was the take? So you're excited, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
You get your license, and
Yeah.
then what was it like?
And then it was well, I was pretty lucky in the beginning because I sold my first place within 3 months of having my license, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is it really helped sort of boost my confidence to be able to have that sale so quickly. But so I was at the time I still had my full-time job and I was trying to do this part-time.
Yeah.
And I remember saying to Amanda, like, I just have to do this.
Yep.
Like, I just have to go
Jump
for
in
it.
both feet,
in.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But so that was the main difference from what my expectation versus the reality was. It is time consuming. It takes a lot of time. So I don't really have a lot of time at all to look for investment properties for myself.
Right.
I don't have a lot of time to look at options trading. I can still do those things, but it's
time consuming.
It's not. It's not like I get to sip coffee and scour.
Like what people might think of us, meaning this job. It's, You know what I mean? It's like it'd be funny to do a video of what your perception, the public is to what our reality is. But as far as, like you said, you hit it on the head. Sorry, it's finding investment projects for yourself. But once you find something, you probably have 3 or 5 clients that fit the bill for that property.
Yeah.
And our goal is to help our clients. So very rarely are you going to, I'm going to buy that. You exhaust all your leads or your friends, family, let's say that are looking for that particular property. And it's almost like, hey, if you don't want this, like you know what I mean? So I understand the pre-notion of getting in, going, now I have access to all the listings, going to go in. But I think you're right. You probably find yourself, hey, this would work for, investment. Like this would work for Daryl. So, or then you can start doing partnerships, right? So I think that's the concept of, I'll get my license and that will help me out with the commission out of it. If we're just being honest. Like, why would I pay somebody else? I can find it. But I think, that's what people think, but I think really it's you're looking out for your client's best interest and you're helping them out, right?
Yeah.
So.
And I still have time I do still have time to do those things that I want to do. It's just not nearly as much as what my expectation was. Like myself and another investor, we took some time yesterday and drove up to St. Catharines to look at some investment properties there. And then and that's another way to sort of that's another thing that I've noticed is like, because you have to sort of show it's best practice to show the prime investment deals to your clients first. So then sometimes you have to sort of go out of the region a bit to look for something that would be more suitable for yourself.
Yeah, because I think even like with Guelph right now and the prices with Toronto coming in so heavy, our prices are up, right? So Barb says hi, guys.
Hey, Barb.
If she's there or not now.
I want that Notorious B.I.G. shirt.
Yes. Barb, keep that content coming up too. So So overall, would you say, what's your, I guess, your overall?
I still love it. I
Yeah.
love it. But it's for different reasons.
Okay.
And actually, see, this is funny because we've actually already done this podcast, but it was the lighting was terrible, so we did it again. One of the things that was different, what was not something that I expected, was how emotionally invested I get in the success of my clients.
Right.
Like I truly, and you can attest to this too, is that you do live vicariously through
100%.
your clients, whether it's their first home or their I've had clients where they're selling their home and they need and the proceeds of that is going to carry them for the remainder of their time in a retirement in an assisted living facility, and you want them to get as much as money as they can, and you lay awake at night hoping that they get everything that they need out of their house, and it's and when it works, you're just over the moon. So I was not expecting that to play such an important, to play such a big role
in people's lives.
Yeah,
it's that exact statement. Sorry, I've had a whack of coffee today. I am like freaking buzzing. I'll let Joe read that because my eyes are terrible. You really
Art
do.
likes it.
Perfect. You really do. Myself and Joe can admit this too. You really do take the emotions on of the buyer. So whether it's you win the offer or it's the disappointment of the 10th offer, you can hear it in their voice. I think clients get used to the phone call, the first three. When we're talking about multiple offers and them not winning.
I just had to send someone a message today, yesterday, to tell them that.
And it's a tough one. So I think we try and keep those emotions on the inside, but 9 times out of 10, burning with anxiety. But we just want to keep this going as well. I think as far as once again, any topics that you might want to talk about. If not, we're just going to do our own thing. Whether you tune in or tune out, really, it's up to you. But.
Yeah. So what about you? You've been in it for a while now, but you must have had an expectation of what the role was going to be like versus reality.
Because my previous job was straight commission as well, and it was sales. It was really just transferring that trait over to this.
Okay, so see, I didn't know that. I didn't know you were straight commission.
It's always the only pay. I mean, I was at Zares for 11 years. That was the only job really that I've had where it was a paycheck, and everything else has been straight commission. So if you stay at home and play Nintendo, you're not getting paid. So I think you got to be basically out grinding. But I love it. I mean, it's great. It's been great for myself and my family. Wouldn't change it. And now, kind of being a part of the Here to Help team with you and Audra and Alice and Jaden, a whole bunch of us, Kelly. It's such a great fit, and I love what the tail end of the year has brought us. And looking forward to 2021. I know there's lots of uncertainty, but it's the emotions too.
I am listening to you.
Yeah.
Investing in Oh, okay. Investing in Toronto versus investing in Guelph, smaller regions. Oh, that's a good question.
You want so Barb, as far as investing in Toronto right now, I had a client reach out to me yesterday thinking that maybe they would look at the condo market. I cannot really, once again, it's my opinion. I don't know anything about the Toronto market other than what we read kind of online. But I think from what I've read, that the condo market is flattening out a bit. I think Airbnb had a lot to do with some of the buildings down there. But he's looking at potentially buying now because he thinks he can get a little bit of a better deal. And obviously they are coming in so heavy, Toronto to Guelph. That's why we've seen our prices increase again, 20-25% over last year in certain pockets. So it's a tough one as far as investing. I think you just have to, Joe's got a great program that he works with called, what's it, Deal Check, which would allow you to plug all the numbers in, and then it would spit out what the cap rate. Maybe you can. I mean, you use that all. I mean, you are the numbers guy.
Well, one thing. So I think I like that question because one thing that I do. So here's the first thing that I do is I look at and I totally this isn't my concept. I took it. If you ever get a chance to get Don Campbell's book, Investing in Real Estate in Canada, it's a great book. And so a few of the markers that he talks about is how to pick a community, and some of the things you'll look at is like the population growth of that community versus the provincial average, the annual income versus the provincial annual income, and then you can start looking. So if you find a community that you like, then you're going to start looking at can you get a property that cash flows. So Toronto definitely is a community or city that's growing faster than the provincial average. The average annual income is higher than the provincial average. The hard part with Toronto is finding something that can cash flow, because to focus solely on appreciation, that's a dangerous game, because as we know, the economy, there's shifts and turns in the economy, and if you're sitting there and if you have a property that's just squeaking by, that's fine when things are going well. But if there's a downturn in the economy and you start seeing that vacancy rates start going up, or if you have a situation where you might have a house where the tenants they lost their job because of the downturn in the economy, and if you've put yourself so close to being razor thin on your margins, you can get yourself in trouble. So after you find a community that meets the markers of a robust growing community, then you want to make sure that it cash flows nicely.
And that program does you've
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So you're right. Deal Check will you punch in all the numbers, and then it will tell you like what's your cap rate.
Yeah.
Typically in Guelph's cap rate, I'd say it probably hovers between 4 and 5%.
Right.
If we see anything that's lower than myself, I should say.
Yeah.
If I see anything that's lower than 4%, it doesn't really make sense. But the 4 and 5%.
You're comfortable with that?
Yeah, because then I know that appreciation is never guaranteed.
Right.
It's kind of like the cherry on
Yeah.
top. But Guelph is such a diverse economy that it's fairly safe to say that appreciation is going to be about 5%
on that. Yeah, which is probably obviously it's been on the low end.
Yeah, for the last couple of years, right? It's been crazy.
Yeah.
Like if you look at November, I think November 2020 to November 2019 was like 27%.
Right. That's
that's crazy.
It's not healthy.
No. So and you should.
Plus,
never,
I want my kids to move out, so hopefully they can buy something.
Yeah. So you should never. Don't buy an investment property
solely on
appreciation.
Okay. Yeah.
How's that?
That's good. So we're gonna try and keep the videos 15 minutes. We went longer the last time, which is awesome. We didn't even realize it was 25 minutes.
Yeah, I
know.
And we split, but then we had to split it up on Instagram.
Yeah. So if you like what you're hearing, let us know. Send us a message if need be on any other topics. Matt Scott joined, and then what was?
Hey, Matt Scott.
Yeah. Aw, thank you.
Do investors here tend to flip or hang on to it and rent it out? That's another good one. I don't know.
Flipping or holding on to it?
Yeah.
I think, Barbara, once again, my opinion. As far as flipping, I know starting out, that was something where you could find something as an investor, find a home, put some work into it, sweat equity, and then flip it. I think that the prices are a little higher right now. So as far as buying to flip, it's not as healthy as it used to be. But we have seen some of the higher end homes sell a little bit of a makeover and then relist, because I think with Toronto coming in so strong, we can see that. But I would say it's buy and hold right now. Is once again, like what Joe said, as long as it cash flows. I think people are holding on to their homes right now.
Yeah, especially because it's tough. Like,
not a lot of margin, right? When you're buying
right, and you're competing with a lot of investors that they've done it more. They know how to they've dialed it in, and they know exactly how to keep those margins. They know how to keep the numbers where they should be. So it may work out perfectly, but you could get yourself into trouble if all of a sudden you've got something that something with the foundation or something structural can really eat into your profits, because you can't show off a house and be like, wow, look at this. Do you know all the wonderful drainage that it
yeah,
has?
yeah, it's not there. But yeah, on that note,
Yep.
are we allowed to do that?
I don't know.
All right.
Allegedly, we did it.
Thanks again. Thanks, guys.
Where's the red button? Oh, here. So I just hit the red button again?